Welcome to the Tech Sales Funnels podcast, where we dive deep and answer the ultimate question: how did you hack into tech sales? Each week, we bring you inspiring stories, proven strategies, and insider tips from top performers who've cracked the code to break into tech sales and thrive. Whether you're just starting out, making a career pivot, or ready to level up, this is your go-to space for actionable advice and real-world success stories. Let's crack the code together, because hacking into tech sales isn't just a dream, it's your next move. Now with your host, the founder of Tech Sales Funnels and the tech sales hacker himself, Davison De Silva.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Tech Sales Funnels podcast. I'm super excited today. I'm bringing a friend. His name is Luís. He's actually from Brazil as well. I'm from Brazil. So super excited. He works for Google. He has an amazing career in tech sales. And today he's going to review and he's going to tell us a little bit more of how he transitioned to tech sales. And I'm super excited to hear his story. I actually never heard of, his original story, and I just met him a few weeks ago here in Dallas. But super excited to have him teach you, and maybe he can talk a little bit more about Google, how you can transition to Google. So welcome. I'm gonna welcome here right now. Hello, hello, Alega.
Hello,
Welcome,
Jason. How
welcome
you
to
doing?
Tech Sales Podcast today. Thank you.
Thank you for the invitation.
And I was just telling everyone that you are also from Brazil, so we're both
Yeah.
Brazilian tech sellers here speaking English. We could be doing this in Portuguese,
No, it's okay.
but
Don't worry about it.
But so this message goes, even further, and more people can hear. Well, let's just go ahead and do it in English. Thank you so much for joining today. I'm super excited. I actually never heard your original story and how you made your way into Google. But I know Google is a dream of many people. I dreamed of working for Google.
Yeah, of
I've
course.
applied for Google, and I was never able to hack into Google before. But let's hear a little bit more about you, who you are first, just a quick introduction, and then we're going to dive into the question of this podcast, which is how did you hack into tech sales, right? So, welcome again and
Thank you.
quick intro. And again,
Okay, great. So thank you. Thank you again for the invitation. So it's pretty excited to be here. So it's a great pleasure to be invited to talk about it. So to be honest with you, I never managed to talk to talk or to work with Google or to talk about my career at Google, but I began this journey in tech sales when I was 22, 23 years old. I had a chance to work in a Xerox representative. It's a kind of a branch of Xerox. So I began my journey 16, 17 years ago. And it was crazy because before joining this position in sales for tech, I was working on business, doing some kind of office job, just organizing documents, doing different kind of things. And I was looking for a new job, and I received an invitation to participate in a process to work with sales, selling products from Xerox. So it was crazy because for me, I was a kind of good communicator, but I
hmm
never managed to talk about sales or say or sell something for somebody. And I
hmm
began this journey as this journey, as I told, like 70 years ago. It was good for me, and I was in Xerox for 5 years. And after that, I migrated to another companies, and I had a chance to work with IT, with software, with infrastructure, with hardware, different kind of technologies. Like as I told, 16 years ago, 17 years ago, the technology space it was completely different from today, but it was a great opportunity to understand how the things works around sales, around tech, around how to sell, how to convince people, or how to persuade them to sell, to buy something. So it was good for me. And I worked for different companies for a long time. And almost 4 years ago, I to short my history, and I received an invitation to participate in a process for Google. And it was incredible because in my opinion, I wasn't deserving this opportunity because I think, okay, maybe they are wrong about my profile. Maybe they are lost on their research for a guy
The right people.
to sell something. And of course, so it was crazy to talk about this because I was invited for a process for them, and I took the first interview with the HR lady, and after the interview I told her, maybe I'm not the right guy for you, maybe I have some friends to indicate to you. And she said, why are you thinking this? And I said, oh, maybe I'm not the right guy in terms of background, in terms of what you're looking for. And she said, okay, I want to talk with your friends. And I sent to her some two or three indicates, guys,
Oh, interesting.
other guys. And she talked to them. And after 1 or 2 days, she came back to me and she said, your friends is great, they are amazing, but I really love it to talk to you. And he said, are you sure that
Oh,
you are not the right guy? And I was thinking, maybe I'm the right guy, I don't know. Maybe it's a kind of syndrome, imposter syndrome, I don't know. I was
yeah, right away.
this. Yeah, but it was good because I was really excited about this opportunity. At this time I was looking a new opportunity 3 years and a half ago, and I
Mhm,
was at Tibico. Tibico, it's a kind of an amazing company, an American company, selling analytics and data and AI products. For Tibico for 2 years I was a sales director there, but the company it wasn't so good in Brazil or Latin America. The company has a lot of changes and some changing their structure, and I was
mhm.
looking for a new opportunity. All of my friends in the beginning of the journey of Tibico was leaving the company, and I was there like alone.
Oh,
Everyone,
wow.
maybe I should to begin a research or looking for
Mm,
opportunity. And I talked with different kind of companies and hiring managers, and it was good because I was really excited with this products and solutions for Google. And currently, as you told, so I'm working for Google right now. I'm selling the data analytics products for Google Clouds, and I
mhm.
started in this journey 3 years ago, 3 years and a half ago. So it's incredible for me because I really love it. Google, the culture of Google, it's amazing, but this is I landed on tech, on sales. It was a kind of surprise for me because I really love it to work with sales, but
Uh-huh.
it's a kind of part of my life right now. It's my blood right now. It's sales or to sales something for someone. So this is part of my life right now.
Wow, you tried to summarize the 16 years of, you said 16 years of your life.
Yeah.
That's amazing. We can dive in so many directions here, and I heard so many things that I'm probably gonna forget. But you talked about. I'm pretty sure people want to hear more about this. Like you talked about being invited by Google, which is like, oh my gosh, how do you get to the position that you get invited right by a recruiter? That's something that we can dive deeper. You talked about how you first started and you starting sales. There was not even tech sales, right? And then you eventually started learning technology, and you transitioned to tech sales. You talked about how you were naturally talking to hiring managers and talking to people networking, which is another strategy of being introduced to tech sales. I love that you just dive right into the question that we want to answer. Let's go back now to that day. Okay, I know you're very humble, and you thought that role wasn't for you, but how did she find you? Was that she reached out via LinkedIn, or it was like an email, a phone
Oh,
call?
great,
Yeah,
great.
relationship started with Google.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they found me around LinkedIn, and to be
Mm,
honest, I never had afraid to connect different people or to connect everyone, or I was very comfortable to connect with people. To be honest, I'm not the best networker guy. Sometimes I'm just sending an invitation to connect to everyone and to be in their network, for example. And sometimes I don't know the right people, but I'm connected with them. I know
Mhm.
who they are, what they are looking for, or for example, I know all of the directors of Google, for example. Maybe I don't know them, but I know who is and who they are. For example, I think this is really important. Where they found me, it was great because they said, oh, we have some friends in common. And I was looking for
Ah,
your name at Google, and I figure out that you have some indications or some friends that indicated you for Google some years ago. Maybe you can talk more about this. And where they found me, to be honest, they found me because of my profile on LinkedIn, and they
oh,
found me.
love it.
Yeah, they found me because of my posts or my connections or my completed profile, for example. And I never give up regarding to post a lot on LinkedIn
Mm,
or to connect with people. Today, I have more than 20,000 people on my network on LinkedIn. This is amazing
love it.
because sometimes I don't know the people.
Oh,
I don't know who are looking for a new guy, but I maybe 90% of the time I will be connected with these people through someone, or I will be connected with another person with this person. I don't know. So, but this is not a problem for me to connect with another person and to connect with a lot of people in different companies because I don't know the day tomorrow. So I need to be connected
mhm,
with everyone. And this is worked for me very well. And to be honest, when I was looking for at Tibico and I was looking for a new position before to go to Google, all of my friends were leaving Tibico to going through amazing companies like Salesforce or
mm.
Microsoft. And I was thinking, what's happening to me because they are not looking for me? And where when Google found me, I thinking, okay, maybe I'm doing the right things right here at LinkedIn. So it
Nice.
was amazing for me. And to be honest, there were an opening position, and they contacted me. I did all of my interviews in 3 weeks, and from the
Mm,
first day of they contacted me until I received an offer from them, it took like 20 days. So it was incredible.
wow, that's amazing.
It's not a normal time because the
Oh,
normal path at Google, not even for sales positions, at least 1 2 months in normally away. But in my
yeah.
case, just took it 3 weeks, for example,
Mm.
from the first contact until the job offer. So
Wow.
amazing for me. But to be honest, all of my interviews, it was a kind of, for me, it was a tough interview, but I think most of my process it was connected with my preparation. I was
Mm,
really prepared for the interviews because I was doing my homework, what they are looking for, what they want to hear, what they are looking on for this position, what's important for them, what's important for Google in terms of culture, for example,
mhm,
what is important in a process for Google, what is important to know about Google internal process. For all of this for me worked very well, but I think it was a kind of homework that I was preparing doing my journey
mm.
in sales, for example, and looking for Google also.
No, I love it. So, listen, everyone who's listening to this right now, he just dropped like two big bombs over there that is gonna help you to hack into tech sales. First, you have to be active on LinkedIn. I tell everyone like LinkedIn is the number one networking tool, and he had his profile, and he was active at posting, active at connecting with people. It doesn't matter who you know.
Yeah.
You don't have to be buddies and best friends with people, but you can connect. Because of that, he became a magnet to opportunities, right? And I'm pretty sure now that he works for Google, I guarantee you that every other week someone reached out to him offering something or some sort of a connection or opportunities because he's active, right?
Yeah.
And then second, he didn't take that for granted. He's like, oh, they're coming for me. I'm gonna just go jump on the interview and it's gonna be cool. No, he prepared for it. He did his homework. He researched, and he didn't want to let the opportunity go, so he was ready. So hey, I know he's being super humble here, but you know, have your LinkedIn ready, strong, right? Make the connections, be active, and opportunities are gonna come to you. And then when they come to you, be ready to interview.
Yeah.
Now, um, so you mentioned about your interview process. It took about 3 weeks. So you talked to the recruiter. Who else did you talk with in order to get an interview with Google? How was the 2 weeks, the interview process? That was like a sales pitch you had to give, or you just talk to the hiring manager? How usually is Google? I'm pretty sure people want to understand.
Yeah, of
I know your case was very unusual, but what usually happens when people want to work for Google Sales, Google
a
Cloud?
great question. So depends of the position that you are interviewing for Google. So could be tech or tech sales, for example, tech or non-tech. Depends of the position that we are looking for. On my case, it was non-tech. As non-tech process, it was completely different because you don't have the technical or hard technical skills or technical interviews. For example, my case at Google. So I joined the interviews. To be honest, I did the three interviews, the main three interviews in the same day. For example, with three
Right.
interviewers, all of them are sales manager or a sales director, and the hiring manager, it was my direct manager in the future, for example. But all of them, it was sales managers, and
Mm,
each of them did a different kind of interviews. For example, the first one, it was more connected with problem solving, more connected with my ability uh, to solve sales problems, or how to answer a customer request, or how to
mm,
solve some kind of problem with a contract that you are dealing. So I don't know. So those kind of questions. So this is really important about the Google process for me. They are not a mystery. There is no secret about this. There is a lot of videos on YouTube talking about this process for tech or non-tech. And the first interview, it was more connected about problem solving and my ability to be persuasive to solve some problems that we have or challenges that we have on sales on the field, for example. And the second one, it was more connected about leadership, my capacity to lead, to be a leader, but
mm,
not just about leading people or managing people. It was more connected about my capacity, not just about solving problem, but the lead to be a leader in different kind of situations. How to be a
mm,
leader to transitioning that's a company that sometimes you don't have people to support you in a project, for example, and you need
mm,
to be a leader for a huge project, and you need to connect people and you need to request for support. So those kind of questions they brought to me, and asked me to solve this kind of answers. Okay, how you think about to be a leader on those situations, for example.
mm.
And the
I see.
third one, it was with my hiring manager, and it was more connected with the position, about the
Mm,
products, about the competition, about the solutions that I was working with. It was more connected with the job description. For example,
mm, I see.
okay, we are looking for this. Tell me about a situation that we can work with this that we are looking for. Maybe you are the right guy. Show me that
Right.
you are the right guy for this job description. So, all of these interviews, as I told, they made in the same day. It was insane because I was looking to be prepared for each one of these interviews, and they sent me a documentation or a kind of one page to tell me about the different kind of interviews, things that I need to be prepared to answer. And they sent me, and I prepared some pages on my computer to be more prepared for the answers, prepared for about the questions, and I researched a lot about these questions or possible questions, for example, and all of these interviews took just 3 or 4 questions, no more than that. It was like 45 minutes. It's a standard for Google interviews. The
Uh-huh.
standard interviews is 45 minutes, no more than that. Sometimes it will take like 1 hour, but the normal it's 40 minutes, 45 minutes. But they asked me 3 or 4 questions and sometimes some follow-up questions. And it's, as I told, it's not a secret. But
Mm,
my point is, be prepared about yourself, your results, what you did in the past, what you are, who you are. In fact, who you are. Tell me about your results. Be prepared about what you think about your career, what you did in the past, the most important projects that you worked, for example, all of these things. It was great for me because I was like telling about my life, telling about my career. It wasn't different. It was like, tell me about
mm.
mix it between apple and orange. No, there's no questions like this.
Random questions.
Maybe in the past people think about this, but there is no as questions about this. It's, tell me about a project that you have this kind of situation. Tell me about a
Mm,
project that you have some kind of competition. Tell me about a project that you have some kind of this budget and we are facing some kind of problem regarding price of our products. So the normal situations of sales, for example, for me to work it well. And this is the summary of the process that I took.
wow. Thanks so much for walking through. I'm pretty sure people who are listening to this right now, they want to transition to Google. Uh, Remember, there's no secrets. Stuff is available. In fact, I think Google gives questions that they can potentially ask. So be open to that and just prepare. As you're talking, I was thinking about the quote that I saw last week that from the Olympian, the fastest man, I think Usain Bolt, his name.
Yeah.
And he's like, how he ran 9 seconds and then he prepared for 4 years. And that guy, he was prepared. It sounds like it was only 3 hours of interview. And then he just kind of, went through it. But he was prepared, right, for many years. Um, Not preparing, technically for Google for many years, but he was ready for to answer those questions about his life, about his experience. So have those experiences written down, very specific results. It's super important. I'm not the best of interviewing. I'm gonna be 100% honest, and I have to work hard as well to prepare. And but they are needed. They're super powerful because that's how you can build trust, right, quickly. And thanks so much for walking through that. I I know Google is big into Googler referrals. They call the Googlers and all that, and I have been referred by a couple of times by different Googlers friends. Since you have been with Google, have you been able to? I'm just maybe not, but have you been able to recommend someone that got hired? And can you tell a little bit more that? How did you help someone to hack into Google?
Yeah, so this is an amazing question because, to be honest, I think in the top 10 guys indicating people for Google right now. And I really appreciate those kind of requests because working for more than 15 years, we have a lot of friends, good professionals. So sometimes I'm just receiving some kind of referral, and it's okay for me. It's not a problem. The process at Google, uh, everyone working at Google can refer people to work at Google. So of course, this is counts a lot because we are receiving a lot of resumes. We are receiving a lot of candidates for amazing positions, and sometimes we are just looking amazing people to work for us, to work with us. And of course, a referral it's much better than go through a someone that no one doesn't know him, for example. I don't know. So To be honest, I can indicate everyone that I want for different positions, different areas, different companies of Alphabet, the holding of Google. And uh, when I indicate someone, this person could apply until three positions per month, for
Oh,
example. And if this indication or this referral ends after 30 days, I can reply again, or I can indicate again, I can referral again. So
interesting.
this is part of the process. There's no problem. But to be honest, about the hacking process, as you asked, so I have some good links that I can send to someone if you are interested on this. I have some good links regarding how to be prepared, or about how these questions works, and
Mm,
what is the process for tech, what is the process for non-tech, what is the process for soft engineering, what is the trap, what is the tips. There's no traps about it, but sometimes you are preparing some way and the way it's completely different. The idea
uh,
here is to give some ideas to avoid some traps that there exists in the market, for example. But I think there's no structured rack about the interview, but I think
okay.
there is a good way to be prepared to be interviewed for Google. This is what I believe around this.
Okay. Is there any? I know this podcast is all about tips and tricks and hacks and
Yeah.
strategies. Is there any secret that you can share today about you know getting a tech sales job at Google? Do maybe 9% of the people get recommended, or
Yeah.
not everyone's like you that a recruiter goes and finds you? Is
I
there any one maybe one tip or secret
I
that comes to
think
you?
there's two tips that I want to share. The first one is watch the movie The Internship about Google, about Google
Okay.
careers at Google. I think it's a good tip that it's really important to understand our culture, what we think, of course. Everything there, it's not, of course, true, but I think it's a good idea that you can have about
Nice.
Google, about our culture. But I think the most important tip about is about Googleness. People
Mm,
doesn't know what is to be what is the real uh mean about to be a Googler. And think about it, what Google believes, what it's important for us, what is our culture. For example, it's really important to understand what Googleness means, and this is the main reason that we are interviewing people, and
interesting.
the main reason that we are looking for a good candidate. It's not just about problem solving or leadership skills or the capacity or ability to fulfill the job description, but is how this guy can add for us in terms of
Mm,
Googleness, how this
mm,
guy can support us in our mission, how this guy can work with us, and be okay with our culture. What do we think about the life, the process, the company, the projects for the future, for example? So, besides of the whole process, all of the interviews, all of the questions, I think it's really important to understand our culture. What do you think about job space, workspace? I don't
mm.
know. So all of these things it's really important.
Very, very interesting. Everyone listening to this, gold here. Listen, some organizations might be hiring because of your technical skills or your sales skills, which is super important for Google, as you can train and develop and continue to grow. Especially if a startup who's just starting, like they need that revenue, so they need, right? But Google is looking for Googleness, and that's a cultural fit right there. So I know you started this whole interview talking about tech, tech, techie, right? Opportunities, non-tech,
Yeah,
right? And in both, they're looking for this core idea of Googleness, and so they in the all the three interviews or four or whatever they're going to go through, I always have that in the back of your head. If your Googleness is coming out, right? If you answering the questions, feeding the culture of the organization, and especially the bigger the organization gets, the more niche they can get on that fit, right? Fine, because there's so many people applying
Yeah.
and so many good sellers, so many technical people. How can they differentiate these people? Really good hack here, everyone listening to this. If your dream is working for Google, you might put on your resume that you're Googling this certified or so.
I understand what Googleness is. I think
Absolutely.
I think it's really important to talk about this on this in your first interview. I think.
There you go. I love it. So we're coming out to the 30 minutes. Time went by. We can spend a whole day here talking with
Yeah,
other
yeah,
guy. But final words for people who are on the fence. They're thinking like, "Yeah, is tech sales really for me? How has tech sales changed your life, Luis?"
yeah.
And so we can summarize and wrap this up.
Yeah, I think it's what you are looking for your future, for example. So when I was 21 years old, 22, 23, when I was beginning this journey, I was passionate about people. I was passionate about telling to people and communication with people. I was a kind of persuasive guy. So all of these skills, it is really important for sales. I think this is a kind of soft skills that you need to develop if you are looking to be a sales guy. So I think if you are looking for a position in sales or tech sales, I think it's really important to be a guy that loves people, that loves to talk and other people, and to be persuasive. And it's really important to have patience. It's really important to have some kind of uh, hard skin to support some problems with the deals, with contracts, with products and solutions. Sometimes you are not selling a perfect products, for example. So all of my journey, I had a lot of different products that I had a chance to talk about it. So I think it's this is the point. Think about what you want. If you love all of these things that we are discussing here, I think tech sales could be a great area to develop your career. This is my best tip around this.
Mhm. Thank you. Thank you so much. Let's close it. Again, thanks so much. Here, Liga from Google Cloud, sales lead of analytics in Google. An amazing organization, amazing company, has changed the world in multiple ways. Highly recommend you to check Google. Follow it. How do they find you, Elega? LinkedIn, of course, right?
Yeah, of course, LinkedIn all the time.
Send a connection and stay connected. Thanks so much for all the tips and strategies today. And we might have to bring you back here, man, because that was too short
Thank you so much.
podcast. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thanks for tuning in to the Tech Sales Funnels podcast, where we crack the code and uncover the strategies to break into tech sales. If you found value in today's episode, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone who's ready to hack their way into this exciting career. Remember, hacking into tech sales isn't just a goal, it's a mission. Let's keep hacking, learning, and winning together. Catch you next time.